Hello, my cookies, and welcome. Welcome to Russell Cooks. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today, I have a really simple, delicious tomatillo salad. I love it. It has a tomatillo ranch dressing. It's incredibly simple, super summery, fantastic side or appetizer to any meal. Now that I know what we're doing, gather our ingredients. You're going to need some cilantro, mayonnaise, sour cream, chives, dill. Dill kind of makes it tomatillo ranch dressing. If you don't like dill, you don't have to include it. I'll point out where you add it. It's essentially the same place as chives. I'm going to be using some Aleppo pepper. If you want something fresh like a jalapeno or serrano to kind of spice this up, absolutely do that. It's going to be fantastic here. I'm not. I'm using a dried chili. You're going to need a little bit of sugar. You're also going to need tomatillos. You're going to need a little bit more than a pound. Now, if you don't know what a tomatillo is, it's kind of like a green tomato, but it's in a husk. So I'm going to walk you through how to prep these. You're also going to need some garlic powder. Raw garlic kind of is a little bit too strong and overtook everything. We don't want that. We're going to be using garlic powder here. And then, of course, you're going to need some bib lettuce or any kind of soft, large leaf lettuce is fine. You're also going to need some pepitas. Now, mine are roasting and toasting. You want them roasted. If they're raw, you're going to have to roast them. Otherwise, buy them already cooked and salted and delicious and even easier for you. You're also going to need a little bit of salt. Now that we know what we're doing, we've gathered our ingredients. Let's get started. So this is about as much as you need for the dressing. That's 2. And for the salad, you can use about a pound. Whatever you want to do. No Michelin stars today. But pretty much what you're going to do is you're going to husk them and you're going to clean them. Just rinse them with water. They're a little sticky. So if you want to wear gloves, I think I would. All right, I'm just going to give these a wash. All right, for these tomatillos, I'm just going to cut them thin, slice them up thin. Between 1/8 and 1/4 inch is perfect. And that's it. Now we do have to treat these a bit. We're going to toss them with a little bit of sugar and a little bit of salt. And we're just going to let them sit and draw out some of the moisture. Get them into this bowl. So now that you've cut your tomatillos thinly, you use a scant teaspoon of kosher salt. If you have table salt, half a teaspoon. And we're going to use a teaspoon of granulated sugar here. We're going to toss them around. Then we're going to let them sit. And this sugar and salt is going to draw out a little bit of the extra moisture. It's just going to make them that much more delicious. Smell it. It smells like a fresh garden. So good. All right. Set that aside. Set that aside for about 10 minutes. It is time to make the dressing. I am going to be using my blender to make it super duper easy and fast. All right, so first off, we're going to remember those leftover tomatillos, just quarter it, throw it in. Next up, I got a bunch of cilantro here. I'm just going to trim off, coarsely chop, good amount of it. Probably between 1/2 cup and 2/3 cup chopped cilantro, just throw it in, right? I'm going to do about 1/2 teaspoon of Aleppo pepper. You can always go up on more. For dill, you probably want a tablespoon. For chives, you probably want 2 tablespoons. I like the onioniness that this brings. So 2 tablespoons for chives. I'm just going to coarsely cut it and throw it in. And if you're adding the dill, add it now. It's going to be about a tablespoon of dill. For the garlic, the granulated garlic, again, we're going to do a teaspoon here. This is essentially about 1 clove of garlic. If you use fresh garlic, it'll kind of overpower. So I'm doing a teaspoon. Do about 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. And I'm going to start with 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. You can always add a little bit more later. Last but not least, let's get our mayo and our sour cream in. So you're going to want about 50-50 of each, 1/3 cup each. About 1/3 cup. Nice rich tanginess. Tomatillos here are going to give us the liquid. If you want to use just mayonnaise, you can. 2/3 cup of that. But I like the split. I like the sour cream here. I mean, it's like sour cream and onion. You got the chives in there. Tomatillos. All right, let's get this blended. It's going to process it. It's going to take anywhere between 80 and 120 seconds, depending on your blender. Start off slow. And then let it rip. Scrape down the edges as you see fit. All right, I think that's good enough. nice and creamy. And it's crazy that we didn't do anything liquid in there except for the tomatillos. Now you can see a bunch of bubbles on top. This is kind of frothy. It'll become a little bit more dense as it settles. That's just from the blender. That's normal. That's fine. All right, let's plate up this salad. Gonna pat these tomatillos dry. You let them rest in a colander, dump the juice. But they're still gonna be kind of shiny and glossy, and they're gonna put off a little bit of liquid still, and that's fine. We want that, all right? Now it's time for the bib. We got our bib lettuce. What I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna tear this. Don't cut lettuce, it'll start to brown where you cut it. I'm just gonna tear up this lettuce into kind of bite-sized pieces. No Michelin stars here, don't worry about it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now, this bowl isn't big enough for all the tomatillos. I'm just gonna put some in. Dress our salad here. There's some of these tomatillos in here. Get half. Let's add some of our dressing. Perfect consistency. Look at that. Look at this consistency. Perfect. Let's drizzle it on top. Green on green on green on green, baby. Now, we do a sprinkle of our pepitas. You got yourself a tomatillo salad, people. So let's give a taste to this tomatillo bib lettuce salad with tomatillo ranch dressing. Let's get a tomatillo, let's get some bib. Oh, buckle up, people. This is really good. Tomatillos are a little tart. So you get into it and you get the lettuce. The lettuce doesn't really add too much. Adds a little bit of crunch. Kind of carries everything with it. Carries the tomatillo, carries the dressing. You get this tart tomatillo. Now we put a little bit of sugar on, but it doesn't really kill the tartness. It's still tart, but it's tamed a little bit. So you get this boom, burst of freshness, burst of tartness, and then you get that rich, ranchy dressing. And then, bam, I got a pop of the pepita, and that was kind of like savoriness, toasted pepita, a little bit of salt. This is elegant. I would serve this on a summer day. Tomatillos here are fantastic. That little bit of heat in the dressing when you get it, oh, that's perfect. I might add a little more Aleppo to this because it's fantastic. So that was a tomatillo and bib lettuce salad with a tomatillo ranch dressing. If you like what you saw, don't forget to check me out on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if you want to support the channel, the best way you can do it for free is to subscribe to my YouTube. If you like any of the affiliate links down below and use those, I do get a little bit of a kickback, but it's only stuff that I like or I use. There's no junk up there. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.